Hello, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival. I am looking forward to welcoming you to Bournemouth Town Centre on the 26th, 27th and 28th of April 2024. Now, we have over 80 writing events and activities happening over those 3 days. And new for this year, we are doing networking lunches and dinners. So I've chosen a handful of restaurants, independent restaurants in Bournemouth Town Centre, for you to go and have lunch or dinner and meet other writers, and just know that you don't have to eat by yourself, because you might have come to Bournemouth for the first time and not know anyone. So whether that's pizza at Mamma Mia's, or Sunday roast at Street Goose, or maybe even a pub lunch at the Brass House, we're going to put a volunteer host in each of the restaurants, so that you can go over there and you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. Just know that there's other people, other writers and other attendees going to be around you. You can, of course, have conversations or discuss what you've just learned in the talks you've just been to. Now, one of those talks that will be happening on the Friday of the festival at 3:30 p.m. at the Pavilion Dance is a best-selling author's journey from novel to publication. And that's with Helen Bryant and Alex Stone. Now, Helen Bryant is the founder of Cornerstones literary consultancy, the leading transatlantic literary consultancy, offering a range of services to bring your book to the next level, with editing services and manuscript assessments, one-to-one mentoring and submission package reviews. That's something we all need. So Helen, nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Dominic. I'm really looking forward to our session with Alex, who I've long admired. And I like your writing very much, Alex. And I also know of old. So thank you very much for inviting us, Dominic.
No problem. So what a lovely introduction to you, Alex. So Alex Stone was originally an accountant, and lucky for us, she turned to writing when she moved to the South Coast, and she's lives locally. Her best-selling psychological thrillers all set in Dorset. So hello, Alex.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Oh, this is going to be such a great festival again this year. I'm really looking forward to it.
No problem. So Helen, over to you first of all. So tell us a little bit about your literary consultancy and what you do to help authors.
So I've always been a writer at heart, and when I was working at Penguin, I thought I really need this kind of service that didn't exist before, as far as I knew, back 25 years ago, showing my age. So I just created something that I knew as a writer I needed, which was professional, trusted feedback. And then, of course, it grew organically. So we started off with adult books, giving feedback to writers. Then we realized that the children's was quite a big sector after J.K. Rowling. And then we opened in the US in 2016. And we have 100 editors or so in the UK and US. And what we do is we provide varying editorial layers. We can do anything from developmental editing, line editing, copy editing, proofreading. We work with unpublished writers and published writers, and we also work with publishers. And what we're really keen to do is see, with feedback, help an author raise their novel or non-fiction to the next level. And if that happens to be submission level, then we have a scouting program and we scout for agents.
Wow, you've got so much experience, and so many things that authors need. And Alex, so you worked with Helen. So tell us a little bit about you and your writing journey. So I think you're on to book number 4. I have read one of your books, by the way, and you're on to book number 4, I think. So tell us about kind of you and what you've done.
Yeah, so I'm editing book number 4 at the moment. I've already signed a contract for another 4 books with Boldwood Books, so I'm set for a couple more years. But yeah, I originally started out as a member of the Romantic Novelists Association, which is how I met Helen through one of their conferences, and then I moved down here about 5 years ago to Bournemouth, just as a career break for 6 months. And you can't get rid of me. So my books they're psychological thrillers, but they're kind of dual time zone in that you see something traumatic has happened in their past, and then in the present you're seeing how that is influencing who they are now and how they react to the situation that they're in. And yeah, I was blown away. The Perfect Daughter, which was this one, was their debut, and it was a bestseller, and it's just gone into the works as well, which is just, it's so exciting to see it on more bookshelves.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you're going to be very, very busy over the next couple of years with that deal. So thank you so much for finding the time for us and the festival. Now, at last year's festival, both of you spoke in different talks, and you've combined forces this year. So, and the title of your talk is A Best-Selling Author's Journey from Novel to Publication. So, Helen, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be covering in the talk?
Well, I think it's always fascinating for any writer to hear another writer's journey, and every writing journey is unique. So I think, I mean, I really love Alex's books. You have a great hold on pacing, which is what you reveal to the author and when. I mean, it's so tight. Literally, I'm sort of scratching underneath the words to try and find the reveal of what you're getting at, and you just tease us enough, and it's really page turning. So that's your style, and I really like your structure, how you sort of, actually, that's quite an interesting question that I will ask during our talk, how you structure your stories. Do you start with a plan or not? What's the inspiration for your stories? They're all set in Bournemouth, which, is it just Bournemouth or Dorset as a whole?
Dorset, across Dorset. Yeah.
Okay. And what, how do you get your ideas, and what that feeling is when you sense that skin tingle, that spark of an idea, that conundrum, and then how do you go about writing it? What's your process? And then once you've written it, I want to ask you during our session, not now, but during our session, how you go about editing it, and at what point do you hand it over for someone else's feedback, and what kind of feedback resonates and what doesn't, and what do you do about it? And then really how you then turn that feedback into a polished novel. I also really want to find out more about publishing with Boldwood, because they're a fantastic publisher, and how they operate, and how you're selling, and what kind of process that they have for selling your books, and what's it like to work with an editor within the publishing house, in-house publisher, as opposed to working with one of our editors. So yeah, I think we're going to have a really good chat.
Sounds like that's going to be a very broad look, and hopefully you can fit all of that within an hour, and hopefully have some question and answers. So Alex, are these the kind of questions that people ask you all the time?
Yeah, and then they're the questions that I asked as well when I was kind of on that journey trying to get published. How do you do it? How does it work? And you're absolutely right, Helen, no journey is the same. And I never imagined mine looking like this, even when I was imagining being an author. So it's just incredible, and I'm so lucky, and I just want to make the most of every moment, because I feel like I'm living my dream, and I should pinch myself to see if I am dreaming, but I don't want to wake up, so we're just going to leave it.
We'll find out your secret.
Excellent. So I think a lot of the things that you're going to be covering is probably going to be quite overwhelming for writers, because there's so much, and yes, Alex, you've become very successful from it, and it hasn't been an overnight. It's taken a long time. So my question to you, and maybe Helen first, what are you hoping that people take away from the talk?
I think a writer's journey can take all sorts of little conduits and tributaries, and everyone is valid. You never know where you're going to end up or land. Perseverance, from having worked with authors for 25 years, those that succeed well have talent, obviously, but it's 90% perseverance and holding fast, not letting little sort of tumbles throw you off course. I also think one can share knowledge and pick up tips. So our ethos at Cornerstones, if I can tell an author in 5 minutes what might take them a year to find out, that to me is great. And that's all for free from our side, because we have a free advisory service where we look at opening material, and we're happy to chat to authors on the phone or by email. So I'd like to think that we're approachable. And I'd like to, we're driven by helping authors. Obviously, we're a business, so we're a fee-paying business. But we are also, underpinning all of that is I want to see authors grow and become successful.
Great. And I think, you're right, because I think the mentoring side of things, can be so helpful for a writer, because writing by definition is a lonely business, and knowing that somebody's got your back or somebody's a critical friend, I think can be so important on a writer's journey. So Alex, you must, having been through the journey yourself, and, a lot of writers and authors will be looking up to you. What kind of things do you want people to take away after coming to your session?
Similar, actually. I think my main advice is never give up. So many times along the journey, it's very, I won't say tempting, but it's so hard. Sometimes you just feel like, especially for me, I had a career in accountancy. I had a job in a stable organization. So to kind of walk away from that, to do something that may or may not work, was a bit. Some people did ask me, why would you throw that all away? Why would you throw away all your training? But I didn't really throw it away. I did it in a way that was safe. So I took a career break. I could go back if I wanted to. So I'm not just saying chase your dreams and throw everything out, but don't give up on them either. And, it's been the most amazing journey, but a lot of that is down to who I've networked with, the opportunities that have come along because of that, joining societies, going to events, asking questions from other authors, working with Cornerstones was hugely beneficial to me. So I've learned so much, because I had no training beyond English GCSE in writing. So to go from an accountant to a best-selling author with 200,000 sales now for my first 3 books. So yeah, just keep going, because if I can do it, you can.
I love that as an accountant, you managed to get the numbers in at the end there. Okay, well, thank you so much, Helen and Alex, for joining me today to discuss a little bit about what you're going to be talking. Their talk is on Friday, the 26th of April. At 3:30 p.m, and that's going to be in the Pavilion Dance, which is our main festival hub. So tickets are now on sale, so make sure you secure your slot. So thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Dominic, and I hope to see you there, as many authors as possible. Just come, don't think about it, just come.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. It's been really fun, and I can't wait to actually get to answer all of these questions that Helen has got ready.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you so much to the two of you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing everybody else at the Bournemouth Writing Festival on the 26th, 27th and 28th of April 2024. See you there.